Okay, so I've been using the 14-inch MacBook Pro that you see here for some time now, and all I can say is that this MacBook, despite everything that has just been released and has been released, might as well be the perfect MacBook. Let me show you what I mean by that. Okay, so first things first, what's a tech product without the unboxing experience? Most Apple products have an amazing unboxing experience, and with this 14-inch MacBook Pro, there is no exception. Take a look at this. The first thing that I want to show you about this new MacBook is basically the design of it. So when you take it out of the box, the first thing you probably notice is that the Apple logo seems like a little bit bigger. Could be that one, it's a 14-inch, slightly smaller compared to the 15 inches that we are used to. But this being a 14-inch and the new design, the Apple logo has been redesigned and it looks slightly bigger compared to the other models. And not only that, but just looking at it, it's a chunky big boy, so it does look thicker compared to most of the other Intel-based Macs that we used to have. And also, if you flip it over and look at the bottom of the MacBook, you'll notice that we have the MacBook Pro text right here. So this used to be located at the front of the screen, just on the bottom there, but as you can see, this has been put right on the bottom of the MacBook. And not only that, but on the bottom of the MacBook, you can see here that we have the 4 stands for the Mac that keep it off the ground and just better help and improve with air circulation and ventilation, since we have fan fins right here, and that will allow for better air circulation and cool down your Mac when it needs that air to circulate. So this is really good. And if you look at the ports, we'll start with the right side of this MacBook. So the right side, as you can see, we have an HDMI port, and then we have a Thunderbolt 4 port, and we have an SD card reader. This is not a micro SD card, this is actually an actual SD card reader. Again, on the left side, you'll notice that we have 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports, and we have a 3.5mm headphone jack with high impedance. So this will be able to automatically detect peripheral devices or headphones that support that high impedance audio, and it will adjust and optimize your device for that. So that is something that's new and better on the Mac. Now let's talk about the display of this MacBook Pro. So the first thing you're going to notice when you open up your Mac, you're going to see that yes, it has a notch. And if you're a regular iPhone user like myself, this is not something that's new, as we've always had the notch on the iPhone, but on the Mac, it at first looks a little bit odd, but as time goes on, just like the notch on the iPhone, it does grow on you, and most probably you'll forget about it as time goes on. And there's settings that you can also do to hide the notch, but it's not a big issue. Now from the get-go, you might not realize that the display that this MacBook Pro has is the best display of any Mac ever made, until you go into the display settings or you try to browse a web page. So if you go into your system preferences and actually go to the display section, you'll notice that the presets that comes preset already into this MacBook is the Apple XDR display, and this has 1600 nits of brightness or 1600 nits of brightness, and that means your display can go really bright. And since this has ProMotion, it has the ability to be able to, use different refresh rates, and this is something that you can set to ProMotion, or if you want, you can actually set it as low as 47 Hertz refresh rate. But the display, or if you set it to ProMotion itself, it will be able to drop even further than 47 Hertz per second. It will go as low as 20 or even lower if necessary, because of this ProMotion display. The black stays black, and the brightness, the colors are just amazing. When it comes to display, you might know that Apple has the ProMotion XDR display that goes for about $5,000. So you take that display, you downsize it, and you put it on a Mac, you come with something that looks like this. So the display is just amazing. And when you go to YouTube, you for the first time on the Mac, without having to change some VP9 decoder settings or install some dodgy software to try and upscale your resolution, you will actually be able to see true 4K resolution, and HDR video support is also there right on YouTube, so you'll be able to enjoy vivid, crystal clear videos. That is just mind-blowing for a laptop this size. Thinner borders is also something that this display has to offer compared to some other previous models, and since colors are depicted in a more natural way, this means that if you're doing something like Photoshop or video editing or color grading, you can really correct it to that point or the sweet point that you want. And that is something that for me on this MacBook has been amazing, since I'm always using it either in Photoshop or video editing. When it comes to the sound that this MacBook produces, it has 6 speakers according to Apple, and those are made up of 2 tweeter speakers and 4 subwoofers. When you do play your first song or audio on this 14-inch MacBook Pro, you'll be shocked, and you most probably try to figure out where the bass is coming from. And yes, it's just so good that it works. Now, when it comes to the battery performance of this device, it's actually really good, and this is coming from me. I do a lot of macOS beta testing, so I test out softwares that haven't been released to the general public yet, and they tend to come with some issues and bugs, and I do Geekbench scores and test out various features. So battery for me does take a hit when it comes to Mac, but with this MacBook, it's actually really impressive with the way I use it, and with the optimization that I have, I've been able to get about a day and a half of battery usage, and according to Apple, this will be able to give you about 17 hours of watching movies, or if you want to browse the web, you'll be able to get about 11 hours browsing the web. This is most probably browsing the internet using Safari, since it's the best optimized browser for Mac. But for me, from my experience and from the tests that I've been doing, the battery on this little 14-inch device has been nothing short of amazing. Something that's correlated to battery performance is the actual device performance, and on my 14-inch MacBook Pro, performance has been nothing short of amazing. And I say this because this 14-inch M1 Pro MacBook Pro is the base model besides the SSD. So the configurations that come with this device are 8-core CPU, 14-core GPU, 16-core neural engine, and it has 16 gigs of RAM. Now, the base model does come with 500 gigs of SSD storage. I did upgrade that from 500 to 1 terabyte since I shoot 4K video. This one that you're seeing is 4K 30 frames per second. So sometimes those files tend to be big when you edit with Final Cut Pro and when you do collect quite a number of 4K footage, so that's the reason why. But other than that, everything on this MacBook is base model. I didn't upgrade the RAM, nor did I upgrade the CPU cores or the GPU cores. And for me, I use it for performing tasks that have to do with video editing, image processing, and also Photoshop. So when you drag and drop your videos in Final Cut Pro, they load right away. And image editing for me has been really amazing, since I use Photoshop to edit most of my pictures, and using Google Chrome, using Safari at the same time while I'm editing a video or while I'm editing a thumbnail using Adobe Photoshop has been nothing short of smooth and fluid. And also I noticed that just from upgrading to this device, I've been able to cut my export and rendering time in Final Cut Pro and in most of the other softwares that require long periods of rendering and exporting by over half. So that is amazing, and it's more efficient for me to be able to use something like this. Now, there are other amazing things that this 14-inch MacBook Pro has to offer, such as being a perfect size I used to think 15-inch was the perfect size, but as you know, I've been traveling quite often lately, and now I find that this 14-inch MacBook Pro is the perfect size whether you are in the office or whether you are going to be traveling on the go. And so 14-inch has been amazing size. It does have a great keyboard. It does have a better webcam. According to Apple, it's now 1080p, unlike what we had before, and it has, according to Apple, a studio quality microphone. Those are just some of the other amazing things that this laptop has to offer. Now, just like any electronic device, there are some cons or disadvantages that I have found with this 14-inch MacBook Pro. And the first one that I have to mention has to do with the device fans. Yes, the actual fans on this device almost never run. Sometimes I'll be like exporting and rendering a video in Final Cut Pro. I'll be editing something in Photoshop, and at the same time I'll be searching something on Twitter using Safari, and still the fans won't run. It almost seems like Apple programmed the software, the Mac OS, to like highly favor a quiet device over a highly performing one. And I do have softwares like TG Pro that allow me to be able to take over control of the fan RPM and also show me parameters such as the CPU temperatures, the GPU temperatures per core, and also the overall device temperatures. But for me, in my opinion, it almost feels like Apple, should have at least lower the temperature set point that is required to be reached by the internals of this device in order to allow the fans to come on, and doing that would have actually taken the performance on this 14-inch MacBook Pro that's already great and made it even greater. Other disadvantages that it has, I noticed that the Wi-Fi speeds, yes, seem more or less the same compared to like the previous generation of Macs that we used to have. So yes, it does have Wi-Fi 6 instead of the new Wi-Fi 6E that has a new 6 GHz channel, and also the HDMI port is actually HDMI 2.0 instead of HDMI 2.1. Now the differences are actually quite noticeable if you have a high-end display or external device, and the differences are HDMI 2.0, you are able to get 8K at 30 FPS, and 4K you are able to go to 4K at 60 FPS. Now with HDMI 2.0, which was going to better future-proof this 14-inch MacBook Pro, you would be able to get 4K at 240 frames per second or 8K at 60 frames per second. So that's just also something that sort of bugs me. It could have been done, but for some reason Apple just decided to stick to the basics. And some other disadvantages that one could argue about this device, yes, it did get a little bit bulkier. Overall, it seems thicker compared to the other previous devices, and it does have a notch, as you can see, although the notch that it has, unlike what we have on the iPhone that houses the Face ID sensors and so on, this notch just houses like the camera and a few other light sensors, but it doesn't have Face ID. So one could also argue that, but other than that, this device is overall the best device that I've ever had on the channel and used, and in my opinion, this is the perfect mid-size MacBook Pro. In conclusion, who should be buying this 14-inch MacBook Pro? I would say creative professionals, content creators that are looking for a portable yet powerful device. This 14-inch MacBook Pro is a perfect device for you. It does Final Cut Pro tasks, it does Photoshop tasks, and if you are looking for something that requires at least the utilization of a fan and also that pro power in a MacBook, this is the perfect size, and it's very portable. It's also, in my opinion, a better buy compared to the newly released 13-inch M2 MacBook Pro, because right out the box with the base configured 14-inch Mac, you get 16 gigs of RAM compared to the 8 that you would have otherwise got on the 13-inch M2, and the 14-inch comes with 500 gigs of base storage SSD, while the 13-inch M2 MacBook Pro comes with 256, and if you're to upgrade the 13-inch to like the base specs that this comes with, you'll be in a range of about $300 to $400 difference. And in my opinion, considering the extra ports that you get, the newly designed Mac that you get, and least but not last, the display and the audio that you get with this device on top of the performance is just amazing. Other than that, if you are looking for a device just to read and do school assignments or just browse the internet with, there's better options out there like the newly released M2 MacBook Air. So this has been the best device here, and in my opinion, it's a great all-rounder portable 14-inch MacBook Pro. And this is just a brief review and my take on it. Let me know what you think in the description of this video, and other than that, stay safe and I will see you in the next video. Peace.